what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations, and this one is another special review because the owner of this car is not only a fan of Rady's Rides, is not only a friend of mine, but also is the married partner to another Rady's Rides fan by the name of Nick. We featured his Type R and have done 2 episodes, and now it's Sally's turn because I'm a firm believer that those that share the car passion together live happiest together as well. And what does she have? This car right here. This is a 2025 updated, refreshed Toyota GR Corolla. But before we get into this turbocharged all-wheel drive power pack punch, let's talk about what's going on here. So a lot of people were surprised, including myself, when they came out with the GR Corolla. One of the things we never had the opportunity to get behind the wheel of here in the United States is the GR Yaris. Now, what's fascinating about the GR Yaris, that is a true homologation special. What does that mean? That means if that car does not exist, then Toyota cannot race in the World Rally Championship, which obviously they currently run in the World Rally Championship with the GR Yaris because of that homologation model. Now, it would have been a simple thing to just bring the GR Yaris to our states, but you know what? Toyota felt that it would not sell very well because of the GR Yaris being a subcompact car. The Corolla, which this is based off of, is a compact car. Also, GR Yaris being a 2-door subcompact car, those really don't sell super well here in the United States, and I could understand that, but it still hurt. But guess what? Toyota decided to bring that all-wheel drive performance, bring it in a hot hatch form, and it's fascinating because basically when the GR Corolla launched, that other all-wheel drive turbocharged rally car, the Subaru WRX STI, fizzled away, and it's still gone to this day, which is quite sad. Now, if you don't think that Toyota knows turbocharged engines, you are so very wrong. And if you don't think that Toyota knows all-wheel drive, you're also wrong about that, because even going back to the 1990s, when Toyota ran the Celica in the World Rally Championship with that all-wheel drive, they actually won, and Carlos Sainz won that World Rally Championship. Now, what's awesome about this car is Akio Toyoda has signed off on it, and he felt that it was a car that he was proud to send to the United States. And here we are with Sally's, a person that was driving a Toyota Tacoma. She's still, doing the Tacoma thing, but you know what? She wanted some all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual engagement in her driving experience. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best of that all-wheel drive performance car, does the GR Corolla check off the boxes? And is this a car that if you got one, would you mod it? Let's go ahead, let's dive into Sally's and find out. Right off the bat, one of my favorite colors, heavy metal, really has a nice look to it. It showcases the body line so well, and that's one of the things that until you see a GR Corolla in person, you really can't appreciate it, because it's not just simply some, stuck on pieces. They really did engineering from top to bottom, left to right, and front to back. Now, at the front of the business, we have changes for 2025. First of all, you're still gonna get that same great headlight design, full LED daytime running lamp, turn signal, and those LED headlights. You'll notice that extra fender flare, because we have wider wheels and tires that you're not gonna get on your regular Corolla. And then new for 2025, they went ahead and redid the whole front fascia. So what you're gonna find are functional air curtains in the corner, gloss black around the exterior. This is one of the things that Sally is thinking about maybe changing and getting the gloss black bits wrapped maybe in a flat black or some other color. We'll have to wait and see what part 2 is gonna be when it comes to her GR Corolla. But I love the combination of the heavy metal with the black. You're gonna have massive, new for 2025, enlarged air intakes for obviously brake cooling, heat exchanger cooling, and also for aerodynamics. One thing that you may be sad, I don't know, let me know in the comment section, there's no longer any fog lights. So they got rid of the fog lights. Now, as we come across that front massive grille design, it's fully functional from top to bottom. Of course, you have the GR badge. If you don't know what GR stands for, it stands for Gazoo Racing, and Gazoo Racing is the motorsports arm of Toyota. So they handle all the WRC efforts. They handle the WEC, which is the World Endurance Championship, prototype cars, plus everything in between. Now, with that lower grille, they try to enlarge it as much as possible to bring more cool air to the front end, because remember, underneath the hood, we do have that turbocharged power plant that does also have a massive intercooler. But let me know what you think about the updated face. I'll get out of the way just to kind of show you that extra aggressive. It definitely looks more aggressive than when they first launched it. Now, as we rise up, I like the simple, clean hood. No longer do they offer a circuit edition for 2025. So the way the trims work is going to be Core, Premium, and Premium Plus. Sally's is a Premium, which I think is a good way to go because there's not a big price difference, like a huge price difference between Core and Premium. The other bit of good news is that you do get, if you do get a Core trim, you do get limited slip diffs standard on all the trims, front and back. So that's part of that performance, that all-wheel drive performance. You want to see things like limited slip diffs. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're going to see that multi-spoke 18-inch wheel, gloss black. This is an Inky produced wheel. So you know that Toyota's working with the good brands. You're going to have a 14-inch rotor behind there, which is actually quite big for a compact car. Slotted two-piece, so that's going to help cut down on heat buildup. And then you'll notice those bright red calipers with the GR badging on it. Another thing when it comes to performance is you want to have some proper tires. And with these Michelins, you're going to get that grip. Tires are 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And like I said, that's an 18-inch wheel. Suspension has been fine-tuned to make sure that you got the perfect driving dynamics. And then another thing that's really amazing about this all-wheel drive system is that you get to choose how much power is sent to the front wheels and how much power is sent to the rear wheels. And that's another nice thing. And they actually simplified it for 2025, how you make those adjustments. I'll show you on the inside. You'll notice on the corner here, you can see where that functional venting from the front, this is where it exits and puts the air down the side. But let me know what you think about the gloss black wheel. This is another thing. She's thinking about powder coating them or going eventually with a fully aftermarket wheel, like an Advan or something like that. So we'll have to see exactly what Sally does, but it's nice to show you when it's fresh out of the wrapper. And then I can't wait to show you in those other episodes the changes that she makes. Now, as we go down the side, you got that heavy metal color. I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing around and show you the functional venting on the fender. Everything is functional with the GR badge. You do get gloss black on the mirror caps. One of the things I'm a little sad about is they got rid of the carbon fiber roof. So they used to have that exposed carbon fiber roof on the Circuit Edition and on the Marizo Edition. Little sad that they kind of changed that up for 2025, but still, you're getting a structure that has been stiffened in the proper places to make sure that you have the right balancing act when it comes to handling. On the lower side, you do have that sill extension with the GR4 badging. GR4 is the name of the all-wheel drive. This is not the same all-wheel drive system that you get on a Highlander or a Sequoia. This is a performance all-wheel drive system that is specific to this vehicle. Obviously, follow Sally. This came up at the start. There it is. Follow her whole journey on Instagram. And it's kind of cool because she is a little newer to the whole car enthusiast side of things. And it's nice to see that sharing between her and Nick, but it's going to be great to see what direction she goes with this car. Now, I've always loved how they did the flared fenders into that flare rear bumper. Of course, you're going to have your same style lighting as before, and then a short stubby spoiler, but the good news is that it's all color matched, including the shark fin antenna. GR Corolla badge lets you know that you're not running just a regular Corolla hatchback. And then working it down to ground level, one of my favorite parts is how they work the rear diffuser area, and you have your triple outlet exhaust. Very unique. This is the only one in the car industry where you have a single outlet on each side, but then you have that oval shaped in the center. Really gives it a unique look and a unique sound, because there is something that is a one of one underneath the hood. No other Toyota vehicle has it. Let's go pop the hood and see what's powering Sally's GR Corolla. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on Sally's GR Corolla. Underneath the hood, tasteful engine cover, of course. You got the GR badge and that turbo name. I think eventually people finally caught on that Toyota knows how to build a heck of an engine, because I know when this was launched, everybody was up in arms about it being a 3-cylinder, but what do we have? It is a 3-cylinder inline 3 turbocharged power plant. 300 horsepower. It's a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 3, 300 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 6-speed manual, but for 2025, you can get a GR Corolla with an automatic. Sally did it right and got the manual. 0 to 60, if you know how to do your dance on your twinkle toes and shift through those gears, 0 to 60 in about 4.8 seconds, quarter mile in 13.1 at 107 miles an hour. Top speed is governed to 143 miles per hour. MPG's 21 in the city, 28 on the highway. So obviously getting 100 horsepower out of each of those 3 cylinders is quite substantial. The engine is hand assembled in Japan at the location that is specific to the whole Gazoo, the GR racing arm of Toyota, plus the fact that you have your choice of a manual or a 6-speed automatic. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this GR Corolla and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside Sally's 2025 Toyota GR Corolla in heavy metal. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want to be like Sally. Sally sounds amazing because she decided to get a real, true car enthusiast hot hatch. How much is it, though? Well, let me tell you this. Remember, there's 3 trims: Core, Premium, which is this one, and Premium Plus. Core comes in at $39,900. So they try to start it a tick under 40 grand. This vehicle starts at 42. So just a little bit more, but you're getting a lot more over the Core. And then if you go Premium, that is 46. Now, you compare that to other prices in the market, it is very competitive for the level of performance and technology that you're getting. But let's see if GR Corolla is the best way to go. To the door panels. I like the simple, clean look. Soft touch material, white contrast stitching. The zonk is the amount of gloss black. Gloss black on the door handle, that's a big no-no. And gloss black around the switch gear. You're gonna have more fingerprints than what the FBI processes in one single year. Door pocket is decent. You could get 1 beef and cheddar. You're gonna have to skip the fries, and you could get yourself a strawberry shake. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, we got the JBL sound system, 8 speakers. Where's my white stitching? What's going on here? Did they run out of white yarn over in Japan at the factory? So that is a big no-no. That's a zonk. Slide on in, you're gonna get your standard 8-inch infotainment system with the latest Toyota multimedia software. The one thing I wish Toyota would have done for this refresh is give us some performance gauges. There's no actual performance gauges. You get trim information, but who gives a damn about that? I want performance gauges. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. You do have a real volume knob, which is nice. And then throw it in reverse. It takes up all 8 inches, which is great, but it is a little on the grainy side, and you have your stationary trajectory line, which is okay. I mean, nothing to write home about. You do get, when you go premium, dual climate control, which is great. I want that air blowing on me. You do have your GR start-stop button, like that. You got your 2 stages of heated seats, wireless charging, more contrast stitching. This is for your drive mode buttons, where you can select your different drive modes. This is for your intelligent manual transmission. So you hit this and it will do the automatic rev match downshifting for you. Here's that amazing 6-speed manual transmission. This is where the magic happens. Pretty short throws, nice crisp engagement. I know one thing Sally wants to do is get a short throw shifter. Here's the new way to select your all-wheel drive. So you have normal, which is going to be front-wheel drive base. Then you have gravel, and then you have track. So that will make those adjustments for you depending on what you want with the GR4 badge there. I love the mechanical e-brake with the leather and the stitching. 2 cup holders, no armrest. They get rid of the armrest, cut and weight, and then the seats, absolutely adore them. The GR embroidery, the nice bolstering, the Alcantara, they are manual adjustments for the passenger and for the driver. I'm okay with that. No sunroof, don't even ask me about it. They don't have one. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the GR specific steering wheel in this GR Corolla. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. The one thing I love is you're getting an aluminum pedal box with your aluminum clutch, brake pedal, and throttle. Now, you can do your own heel-toe downshifting, but like I said, you can also turn on the automatic rev match downshift. You also get a heated steering wheel, which is nice. And then, like I pointed out on the passenger side, you do get manual controls for the driver's seat as well. I'm 6 feet tall. There's plenty of room in here. Not as much room, though, as a Golf R. Just saying. Steering wheel, love the leather, the contrast stitching, the GR badge, flat black on the switchgear. It is a manual adjusting steering wheel. And then we have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You could go into your different modes, and that's going to make adjustments to what is shown. Love that, the way the tack is across the top there. The other good bit of news is that cars like these, you get to bring more friends because you have more doors. So let's get into the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy going through the twisty bits with you in this GR Corolla. All right, guys, back seat time. And the good news is that you do have enough room to fit some people back here. The bad news is it's not as much room as a Golf R or a Type R or even an Elantra N, but I do have plenty of headroom. You have, of course, large pockets on both sides because you're gonna need to put some puke bags back here for your passengers, just in case. Because if you go to a place like the Dragon in that North Carolina, Tennessee area of the country, you're looking at 318 turns and 11 miles. Somebody might lose their lunch, and you don't want them to mess up this beautiful interior. Like I pointed out, there is no rear armrest, but you do have for the rear seat passenger a USB-C. There is one up front as well. There's also a 12 volt. And then, of course, like I said, dual pockets. And then the seats actually have a little bit of bolstering to them in the back, which is nice. They're actually a lot nicer than the seats in a Type R. The Type R plain Jane seats. These seats are much nicer. Soft, 2 cup holders. Let's get in that cargo area because I want to go for a drive in this GR Corolla. All right, guys, what is amazing about these types of vehicles is that you get the performance, you get the fun driving engagement, but you also get the usability. And if you go to Sally's Instagram page, there's actually a photo of her doing a Costco run to get some bottles of different drinks and whatnot. Open up the rear. That's where you have all that great cargo space. Now, I do have to admit, and I know Sally's fine with this, I do have to zonk it because it does not have as much cargo room as a Golf R. So if you go Volkswagen Golf R, which is also a compact hot hatch with all-wheel drive, you are going to get more cargo room, but I like the attitude, and you'll see when we go on throttle, I like the attitude of the GR Corolla a lot more, but love the fact that you have the usable space. Obviously the seats do that 60-40 split, and you do have your World Rally nooks on both sides for a gallon of chocolate milk on each side of the vehicle. And remember, where does chocolate milk come from? It comes from brown cows, duh. But why don't we go ahead? I'm done talking about this. What I want to do is I want to go on throttle with you. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Strap yourself in, shotgun, and let's go on throttle in Sally's GR Corolla. All right, guys, we're inside Sally's 2025 GR Corolla. I have it in sport mode, but I have the all-wheel drive in track setup. And if you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna hit the twisty bits. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. That all-wheel drive getting the power to the ground. And then here comes the best part. Really, really nice on the brakes. The tip in or turn in is so precise. Got a nice large gear indicator. On the brakes, one downshift. Here we go. Nice. The all-wheel drive just makes you feel invincible. Woo! Yeah! Love the balance of this car. It wants to dance, and if you have your dancing shoes on, oh man, you're gonna have the dance of a lifetime because you're so connected. The seat holds you in place, the pedals are perfectly placed, and then the input that you're getting into the steering wheel, that is what's so important. It's not necessarily just more horsepower. You want to have that balanced feel so that you can use the power that you do have. I love the way the shift lever is positioned. It's at a good height to where you're able to just easily get down there, do the shift, and then get back to business. And like I was showing you earlier, the way that you could change the configuration of the dash is super nice because you have that massive gear indicator in the center. Little turbo boost gauge on the left-hand side. I think the other thing I like about the GR Corolla over the Type R is you're not getting all this annoying pumped-in sound. Like there's a balance there with the sound, and it's a nice clean sound that you know you're in something special, but it's not being forced upon you. So that's another good thing that stands out when you're behind the wheel. Visibility, of course, is fantastic out the front. The way they have the A-pillars pull far apart, and the seating position is also just downright perfect. All right, guys, I don't know about you, but I need more twisty bits. You ready? This is second gear. On throttle, here we go, all the way out to 7,000 RPM. Shifts are perfect. That all-wheel drive. Here we go. Here we go. Decreasing radius corner. Carry the speed. Super smooth. On those brakes. And like I said, it's actually quite amazing that they're 14-inch rotors up front. You want to have that kind of braking capability, because remember, when you're on the brakes, all the weight transfers forward, and that is where you want your stronger brakes to be set up. All right, guys, I gotta keep going. I'm not ready to give Sally back her GR Corolla. Are you ready? First gear, on throttle. All that power gets to the ground so effectively. Look at this. The grip level is insane in this car. Here we go. Nice. The rear end comes around just a little bit so you can square off the corner, and it allows you to have that quicker exit. It's one of those things that yes, with all-wheel drive, you want the grip, right? You want that constant grip, but you also just want a little bit of slip angle at the rear so that you can square that corner off, and that's where you see the GR Corolla really shine. It shines so well exiting a corner, and when you're on the brakes, it is amazing just how quickly it sheds speed. I mean, it sheds speed faster than a Husky sheds hair. That's how crazy the brakes are on this. And we don't have 10 piston calipers or any of that. It's literally a simple Brembo setup, but it does the job so effectively. You know, you'll notice that as I'm going through the twists and the turns, I'm not death gripping the steering wheel. You're able to really kind of just be one with the car and have that light feel. You don't ever want to have a harsh grab or a harsh movement, because that's not what the car wants. The car wants smooth. And with 300 horsepower and such a small package, it really does shine very well, but you still gotta be able to keep that momentum up. And with the all-wheel drive, it allows you to do that very easily. All right, guys, one more time for you, definitely one more time for me. Second gear, on throttle, here we go. I love the way it pulls all the way up to 7,000 RPM on the brakes. Nice, the grip is just so phenomenal. Look at this. Here we go. Nice sweeper all the way around. Transition back. Nice, look. I love it. The downshifts are so smooth when you blip the throttle, and you can actually feel how much grip you're getting from those tires. They actually speak to you very, very, very well, and that's something that you'll appreciate. That's all the engineering, because remember, before this car could be built, Akio Toyota signed off on it. So you know that it's got all those special touches. But I hope that this has been a good experience. Allow me to share Sally's car with you. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, what did I freaking tell you? You don't need to have 1,000 horsepower to have a hell of a good time behind the wheel, especially when you're behind the wheel of this GR Corolla. Definitely, we gotta thank Sally for not only getting this car, but also bringing the car out so that we could feature the car. And what are we talking about? The GR Corolla for you here on Rady's Rides. Definitely check out our Instagram page, because not only will you be able to see the car as it sits now, but you'll be able to go on that journey with her as she decides to make changes, which is what is so great about being a car enthusiast, is adding that personalization, things that you would want to change, things that you kind of don't like the way they came from the factory. But let me know what you think. If you're looking for something that's turbocharged and something that has all-wheel drive, is this the way that you would go? And would you want to mod it? Would you think that this is a good platform to mod? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. Of course, we got to thank Stephen Flood, Big Guns McGee. That's his new name because he's just getting so swole at the gym. Thank you, Stephen, for putting in the hard work to lift that heavy camera. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.